What's it looking like? Bullish, bearish, bearish, bullish? Well, you know, there are liquidity levels that haven't been tapped yet. Fundamentally, we have to break this outer trend line. Yesterday was a pretty bullish day. Look, closed higher than the previous candle's high. That's a bullish engulfing reversal pattern right there on TRVL. That's a bullish reversal pattern. We've had a pullback, which is your take profit candle. If it holds above 50%, which looks like it wants to do, then maybe we're going to see a buy up with the next candle. Of course, everything depends on Bitcoin, but for all intents and purposes, we could be seeing the formation of a reversal here. With this daily candle that was formed yesterday, you also have the creation of a brand new daily level here. And so while this daily level held as support, here you can see clear reaction, and then a bullish reversal candle to follow. You've now also created a brand new fresh daily level at almost the same place. So naturally this area becomes quite strong support if and when we do go down for another test effectively. So it's quite interesting because you lose one major level of support, which is roughly about 5.5, and then you're actually creating another one just below us. Different kind of support. This is different kind of support, but it's still just as effective. Okay, so again, the whole idea was just to let the price come and find support, and so far we're finding support. That's what it looks like. On the weekly time frame, the weekly candle printed, okay, for all intents and purposes, that's actually a very bearish candle, right? That being said, just bear this in mind. We took the liquidity from the low of this weekly candle, and we've come back, we've closed right back above this area. Yeah, there's a weekly level there, and there's a weekly wick candle here, and for all intents and purposes, you could say that that was a weekly test which was respected. You might not see it, but there's a weekly level here that hasn't been, that I haven't labeled because it's already been traded through, but it's there. Okay, it's basically here. See that? And so actually what you're seeing is that a historic level, a weekly level, is holding a support. So it's interesting because you lose one area of support, and you just price goes down to find another one. Okay, now the other interesting thing about this weekly candle, for all intents and purposes, it's bearish. Red candle, increasing volume, and look at that, no one's fond of that candle, so naturally the price drops, because that's what usually happens, you know, when these wicks form, the wick fills, usually the wick fills, price drops until it finds support. Now with these wicks, it's quite interesting. This is quite a bullish wick, to be honest with you, because look how long that wick is. That's a buy up. Price trades all the way down, and it was bought all the way up, and the wick is actually more than 50% of the body. So actually it's quite a bullish buy up. It's quite a bullish reaction. Okay, doesn't mean that the price can't go down. It's just that that's what you want to see. You want to see reactions. You want to see that the price is struggling to go down. The price is being bought up. So when you see these high volume candles with these wicks underneath, it just shows you there's a lot of buying. Yeah, it's an indication. Yeah, what you've got selling, but it's being bought up. That's what these wicks means. These are buying tails. Yeah, and I think it'd be quite interesting to see how this week forms. Is it going to be a green week? Like, you're looking at it, you're thinking this is bearish, but actually no, this is the beginning. You have to see how this week ends. The price could easily go all the way down to go right back up and form another green candle with a wick underneath. You know, you could easily see that next week, and then people will be looking at this chart and going, wait a minute, this is actually looking bullish now. This is the right place for this token to start finding support. You know, we've just lost the major level. People are feeling bearish, but actually this is where the fun begins, because this is where the price is now searching for liquidity, for the floor. Now, rather than an arbitrary level, which is based on mathematical ratios, now we're actually looking for liquidity. Now we're actually looking for buying. Yeah. Where people are actually looking at the price and going, wait a minute, this is really cheap, I want to buy more. Yeah, now it's psychological. Okay, so you could argue that we're in free fall, but at the same time you could also argue that now is where the fun begins, because now we get to see how much people really value TRVL. And for all intents purposes, you could get into a situation where the price goes down deeper, and then you get an explosion. Yeah, this is like a spring. The harder you push it, the more energy that you create or you store for a reaction, for an explosion. Okay, so this is what this is looking like to me right now. It looks like we're springing. We're pushing the spring down. Yeah, with force. You can see that there's force. Look at that volume. That's force. And we're eventually, what's going to happen is we're going to get a pushback and we're going to get a reaction. Okay, that's what I'm imagining could happen with the way the price is behaving right now. Yeah, it looks like it's trying to quite this whole thing, this whole price action from years ago till now is like a spring, is like a coil. Yeah, this whole thing is a coil. Yeah, and it's almost to our advantage that the price didn't just go up, even though that's what people wanted, even though I wanted that too. It would have made my life a lot easier. I'd have more followers, which is always a bonus. But actually what I'm seeing now is a little bit of a coil. Okay, a multi-year coil, which is coiling up. This whole thing is coiling up. It'll get to a point where we're going to have a real explosive move. And because it looks like we've been having deep corrections, after the next move, we're going to have a really nice flat correction. Okay, everyone is going to be selling and the price won't move. It will just go sideways. Yeah, and then people will be buying back in. And so we're going to get a really nice kind of flat correction. It's going to be really powerful. And then we're going to have the final move, the final explosive move, which is going to take us into price discovery. And then hopefully the marketing, which is going to kick in, Airbnb killer or a Dtravel marketplace, the Amazon of tokenized real world assets. Yeah, starting with vacation rentals. It could be anything. I imagine a future where you could be trading night tokens, you could be trading flight tokens, you could be trading boat tokens, you can be trading anything using the Dtravel marketplace, which is being designed and built, and that's all tied into the night protocol. You could also see a future where people would use the Dtravel engine and plug it into that with APIs, whatever, and use the technology to power their own marketplaces, peer-to-peer. So this is all peer-to-peer now. This is not what most other cryptos might be, a little bit more centralized, with a centralized administration of tokens, and where the transactions aren't peer-to-peer, more like a centralized model. This is all peer-to-peer. And so that's what I'm imagining. I think potentially this is going to be bigger than people think. And the way I'm seeing the price action, the way I'm seeing the way the price is moving, I think this is going to be a much more explosive move when it finally happens. Okay, that's what I'm seeing in the way the charts are forming. And when it moves, it's going to move. Yeah, it's going to move. No one's going to be able to stop it, and it's going to go much further than people expect. And that's going to all coincide with, people are going to say, oh yeah, but it was this launched or that launched or something launched. People always like to find reasons why, but the charts are telling us that this is all coiling up. The whole price action is coiling up for a massive explosive move. And I think because we're having quite deep corrections now, I think we're going to end up with some flat corrections towards the end, which is actually better. It's going to be a lot easier for most people when we end up with flatter corrections as we go into price discovery, because people will be, it might be relatively low volume, but we're going to get to higher prices. I think that's what it looks like. When is a good time to take profit on Slurf?